Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by James Blunt, and that's Bartender. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So after really not finding too much to be that excited about after listening to James's last outing from this upcoming album, I went into this track a little unsure on what my reaction would be by the end of the track. Although he's had a very hit or miss career, which is down to a whole host of reasons, and it depends on the person you're asking, he's one of those acts you're always quite excited to hear what comes next from. Shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Now, I don't want to sound too negative, but this track really sucks, and I'm finding it really difficult to spot any redeemable qualities here. James has continued to go down this very overproduced, trending pop style, and for me it's just ill-suiting of him as an artist, as well as being just plain boring, really. Now, I said in my last review I didn't want to be one of those generic listeners who constantly call back for older material, you know, the type which I'm on about here, but I honestly think this is a bad step in the wrong direction for James, as each track sounds completely temporary to me, and as if it's entirely based on what's currently hot rather than actually being, or rather inducing, longevity. It's cheesy, it's corny, it's dull, and it's just a dime a dozen, really. If James Blunt's name wasn't attached to the project, then I'm not sure people would even care about this song. When it comes to the production of this track, I must admit, yet again, everything sounds completely overproduced here. Think of all the insults that were thrown around towards Charlie Puth when he tried to integrate organic instrumentation into 808 mixes. It just doesn't work, and I'm not sure why people are turning their heads away from noticing this poor behaviour just on James Blunt this time around. This beat is lackluster and dry, lacking any exciting or impactful moments. The synths and pads are ever so faint in the background, filling up the stereo field with noise rather than individualized and recognizable tones. The acoustic guitar sounds horrific on this track, sounding basically as if it was recorded straight through like an iPhone on the iRig or something like that, rather than an organic atmosphere, and even James's voice sounds overtly tampered with on this track. Moving on to the musicality of this track, it just feels so dry and vapid, lacking any cutting tones or melodies to really boost the track's momentum throughout the track. It's ploddy and it's far too simplistic, which would be fine if it was, say, like a dance track or a house track or a techno track or something like that, but it's not. It's way too slow moving for that, meaning I really get quite bored when listening to it transition from section to boring section. There aren't any memorable fills, there aren't any memorable drum sequences at all in that, for that matter, and all the percussion is completely wasted throughout this track. It might as well have not been there, to be honest with you. The guitar progressions are cheesy and predictable throughout the track, constantly repeating as if they were sampled rather than actually being performed live. The vocals are so boring too, and that hook is just eye-rollingly dull to me, and safe as well. I can't even praise his falsetto here because I feel I've heard it all before anyway. Also, the award for the worst bridge I've heard this month so far has to go to this track, as it's unbelievably lazy. All they did was take out his vocals, take out the big synth, slap a warbly EQ on and throw it back out, and that's just incredibly lazy stuff for a professional product, I guess you could call it. Lyrically, the track continues a terrible downward spiral that James has been on fairly recently, creating something that is instantly cheesy from the first two lines alone, and I can't say I've heard anything significant here at all. So all in all, a complete dud of a track that I can't see me listening to ever again, especially not recommending to any even fans of the artist to listen to this track. So I gave it a G rating of 3 out of 10, which is well below average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.